how can I better the world right now? How can I make the world a better place? How can I do something that affects change right now? We hear this all the time. We hear people talk about one person can't make a difference. Why do anything? Apathy. You put your head in the sand, and it couldn't be further from the truth. And it's all the way from personal development like this and fulfillment, all the way up to people making political change. And so many people that stay at home and don't vote. They don't voice their opinion, which is just one way, right? There's the ballot box, there's the ammo box, and then there's voting with your feet and voting with your wallet, voting with your voice. All are very effective ways to get things done, those 5 ways. And so many people don't voice their opinion because they feel like there's no need. But remember, courage is contagious. Courage is very contagious. And that's where we look at things like the Revolutionary War in America that we talk about a lot. 3% of the people galvanized together. Ironically, led by a lot of the priests or pastors that were here in America that led the charge, grabbed their muskets, literally grabbed their muskets and ran out the church doors and said, who's coming with me? We're defending our freedom. We're defending our liberty. We are defending our right to gather together, our right to worship who we want. The priests, the pastors, people like the Black Robe Regiment, black pastors. The stories go on, and these are things that government-run schools don't teach. I wonder why. Very few, if anyone, has heard of groups like the Black Robe Regiment, or that pastors and priests were doing that. We're running out of the church saying, who's coming with me? Telling the congregation, the men, who is coming with me? Who is coming to defend liberty? And that's why the British came to America and said, we're coming for the clergy, we're coming for the clerics, we're coming for the religious people first, those leaders. We're taking them out. And when you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. And we are living through that at a grand scale, on a global scale. So what can you do? When you don't do something, and this is taken from a blog I had, and go to the link in the description here to read. This is a short blog about what you can do, about how you can get better today, how you can put your own mask on to help yourself, and then in turn help others. Instead of being part of the problem, we can be part of the solution. And if more and more people, those things are contagious. Doing the right things are contagious. Courage is contagious. Standing up, 3% in the Revolutionary War then led to 5 and 10 and 15% and on, because it takes a small amount of people to do something different, to say, hey, I'm going to stand here, just take the slings and the arrows, and then the other groups of people then come in later. And everyone's meant to do different things. But who among us is called and feels that calling in here to make a difference, to be different, to stand up to governments here in America or around the world, just calling people that love freedom and liberty domestic terrorists? And that's happening right now. That's been happening for years, actually, inside of America. Really, for sure, going back at least until to Lois Lerner, 10, 12 years ago in the Obama administration, the IRS chief targeting conservative groups, patriot groups, freedom groups, anyone that had these titles in their name, they were targeting these people. And whether it was explicitly saying, hey, we're targeting people, now they're saying it. Now they're saying, hey, people that don't go with the government propaganda, they are terrorists. We have come a long way. And we are on the brink. We are on the edge. We are on the precipice of massive change, and change not for the good, change for much, much worse, and change for people that have their head in the sand, and the apathetic people are going to get hurt the most. So the people that think they are staying out of the weeds and they're like, hey, whatever, don't tell me, those people end up getting hurt the most because they have no idea what's coming, and they are not able to prepare, and they're the ones that are clipped and taken out first. Whether it's financially, food, water, whatever it is. That's the importance of this. The people that think they're not in the way are the ones that are in the way first. And I think that's why this is so important. So who has it in them to change? And this is, like I said, you can go to the link in the blog, or in the description here, and see the blog. So this is part of the post. What can I do? What can any of us do to help ourselves get the world on track? This is a question many people have been asking themselves lately. Why do we see all this violence and bloodshed? Why are we lost? How is this happening in the modern world? It's 2023 for crying out loud. You hear it all the time, right? 2023, man. You hear Joe Biden. This is America, man. We can do multiple wars and still patrol the seas and still take care of everything and still have a great country. Wrong answer, Joe. Not how it works. And we are going to pay the piper. The piper wants to get paid, and he's getting closer, and he's coming. If you haven't seen, we did videos just recently about the 5% 10-year rates going up. Our bluff is being called. And when you have the world reserve currency, you get to get away with this for longer than you should. But the piper is going to be paid. Mark my words. As far as I know, we are still human. We are still human. So whether it's America, the most powerful country the world has ever known, or it's 2023, or it's 2100, doesn't matter. We're still humans. And we can still fall susceptible to fourth turning and cyclical behavior, etc. These are the thoughts that keep ringing around in my head. How can we be better? How can we do better? Get healthy. Get healthy. Your mind, your body, your soul, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Get healthy now. Now. Pre-care is much better than post-care. Start putting true, organic, I guess, but natural things in your body. Put only good things in your body. Right? Some people, well, it costs a little more to do that. What costs more? Losing your health, losing your life, paying more for post-care than the cheaper pre-care? We can go on and on. Do the right thing now, up front, and you will thank yourself later. So, working out, eating healthy, it's for your family, for your longevity, for those around us on the mission, so you can be a productive member of society and not a drag on society. Being apathetic, putting your face in the sand, your head in the sand, is not an answer anymore. That was the case for the last 100 years. That's not the answer anymore. Gen Z, Gen Y are seeing that. We're seeing the ramifications of decades and decades and decades of heads in the sand, and fiat currencies destroying everything, putting crappier and crappier ingredients and products and services out to market in order to just try to stay afloat. Well, we're seeing the ramifications of that now. No more. The younger generations will not accept that. This will change. Support Bitcoin educators and companies and give as much feedback as possible. Support the new circular economy you're trying to build. The fiat legacy Titanic, as we've talked about many times, is going down. It's slipping beneath the waves. Most people still cannot tell, quite honestly. They think they're reading, they're on the deck as the deck is slowly listing and chairs are sliding by them. They're still reading the paper that says the Titanic can't sink, just like we said earlier. It's 2023, man. It's America, man. Like Joe Biden says. Like, he thinks everything's okay. Joe, wake up. Smell the coffee. Joe is a placeholder for many, many people around the world right now. Not just in America, but around the world. We have to start smelling the coffee. Wake up to reality. Support the new world. Bitcoin is the life raft off of this ship. It's not gold. I was in gold and silver. I just had someone talking about gold, But Bitcoin's a religion. It's a belief. Well, everything is a religion and belief, right? Gold is a religion and belief. The fiat dollar is probably the biggest religion. The United States government is the biggest religion right now. Government took over Catholicism, took over Christianity, it took over all these things, especially in America. That was one of the goals of the Marxists, the one world government people. It was the world church. They want the world church. Literally, this is their goals. And the government has taken over as that deity for a lot of people. And whatever, the dollar and the military and my entitlements, my Social Security, my 401ks, IRAs, pensions, that is most people's livelihoods, and that is the altar they worship at, and we are seeing again the ramifications of that. So be in the new world you want to see. Be in the world that is being built alongside the fiat sinking system. This Bitcoin life raft is being built and is getting stronger and stronger by the day. I mix these people. I'm around these people. I see what's going on. It's a completely new world going to reshape everything we ever thought about the world and humanity. I've seen it firsthand. But don't trust me. Verify. Do the research. Don't be a non-playable character and put your head in the sand. Another one, make as much content as you can in any way. Audio, written, video, etc. We talk about this all the time here as well. If you feel any calling at all to make written content, video, whatever it is, put it out there. We need to overwhelm the system with positivity. Be the change you want to see. Let's stop complaining and griping and whining about what is going on. Be the change. Again, only 3% need to stand up. And if those things happen, a couple million people, 5 or 10 more million people in this country of 350 million people, stand up. Things are changing very rapidly, because the loud and transigent minority starts to take over, and then it starts to become the majority eventually. Because a lot of people that think like us, they're just scared to say anything because they've been called domestic terrorists. Now we're coming full circle. They've been called, racist, homophobe, bigots, whatever it is, right? Whatever the one world government narrative is from academia and media, whatever the current thing of the day is, if you're not following that hook, line, and sinker, then you are the target. And most people naturally are scared of that, and that's okay. It's okay to feel scared about that, but know that most people think with truth. They think with common sense and logic. They actually do. I'm a bad, I've been bad over the years of saying like common sense in the common and all these things. Humans have it. We all have it. Some suppress it more than others. And it's time for courage to take center stage again, and that allows the common sense to come back and resurface. So overwhelm the negativity and the algorithms and queued up narratives. Only need that 3% to change. So overwhelm the system. Write, do video, audio, whatever it is your thing. Make up songs, dances, go viral on TikTok. Do whatever it is you do and you like doing. Just go do it. Make an anonymous account and go out there and publish under a pen name. Go do something to overwhelm the system with positivity. It's needed now more than ever. Accountability is low. Men have not been punched in the face enough growing up as children. This is something I've written about over time as well. I grew up getting in fights. I had a good upbringing, but I played a lot of hockey, wrestled with my buddies, got in a lot of fights in hockey. I understood accountability and respect. Men haven't been punched in the face enough growing up as children. Few know the meaning of consequences, and few have respect and control of their mind and thoughts. This is such a huge and important thing too. Again, the old adage of, you thought strong men are scary, just wait until weak men get in power. Well, now we're seeing this across the world. The Justin Trudeau's, the Joe Bidens, the who's the French guy, Macron, it was Boris Johnson, the other guy was in there now, Rishi Sunak or whatever. We're seeing Putin, Zelensky. We're seeing weak men all across the world. Weak men in areas of power everywhere who are weak, don't know how to decide and make decisions, have low testosterone, most likely. I'm mind reading or body reading, I guess, but just telling by their decisions and their actions and how they operate, going just by the course of polls and flipping back and forth. These aren't leaders. These are anything but leaders. We need real leaders to stand up. We need people that actually understand conflict and conflict resolution and how things actually work, and actual diplomacy and strength being the foundation of peace. When you are strong, it's respect. Game, if you ever heard the saying, game recognizes game, it's because one man who has built himself up, works out, takes care of himself, does things, recognizes someone else who does that too. A mirror image, and recognizing someone else who has that, and mutual understanding of, I see you. There's none of that in the world today. Very little. There's none among the countries. Why have multiple wars broken out just in the last couple of years? Again, weak leadership. We need to reverse that. Following 10 laws. It's probably one of my favorites. Probably the most important thing. It really is. If we did what is right, and we worry about laying down our life to pick up our cross, it is contagious. Worry about the log in my eye instead of the splinter in my brother's eye. Talk about doing what is right. And the old story of the little lady or the sister or the nun that would used to go to the prison and spend time with prisoners. And one of the prisoners came up to her one day and said, "Hey, sister, you know how many laws there are in the books that put me in this place?" And she just looks at him and laughs and is like, yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? But did you know there's 10 that keep you out? And everything you see going on in the world today, just keep coming back to that. If people followed the 10 laws, the 10 commandments, and treated each other the way they would want to be treated, man, how much different life would be. Didn't steal, didn't covet other people's neighbors' possessions, or covet their neighbors' possessions and wives or husbands, their possessions, didn't lie, cheat, steal, kill. Things would be a lot different. And we're so worried about putting band-aids on bullet holes and trying to cover up the actual problems that we tend to get nowhere. So what can we do now? Those are the things we can do now. Those are things I'm focused on. Those are just really some of my thoughts, really in the last couple weeks, last few days, of what can we do now? What can we do better? And if we start doing that, just the people around us, it's contagious. Other people start doing it, 1% are doing it, then 3%, 5%, things really start to change around the world. But it has to start with one person. It has to start with one. Otherwise, who's going to do it? Everyone's looking around like a Spider-Man meme, pointing, are you going to do it? You going to do it? And nothing ever happens. So please share this out. Stay strong. Appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. Question everything's boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify. Please, please, again, share this out. The algorithm hates truth. And this is not financial advice. It is freedom advice. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.